harass her and interrupt her work, but instead of apologizing, they resort to underhanded actions and force her? How did they get to this point? This venerable one is dissatisfied. Today, they must compensate him for this act against his sovereignty. Otherwise, the consequences will be devastating for them, so let him remember his words. Young Shao Kong asked the guy that a donkey kicked him in the head today. What is he trying to say? None of this makes any sense. He will kill them all because of him. Crazy, he doesn't care at all. His plan would have gone well if he hadn't interfered. Let this psycho hurry up and kneel in front of the man and ask for his forgiveness. What the hell is he doing? Let him hurry up and apologize. It's just one stupid student. What's the big deal? Laughing, Bebo said that since he wanted to play the role of a hero, then he would deal with him first. He ordered the guys to take it. With one movement of the hand, both guys were already lying on the floor. Babo asked, "So he is also a martial artist? No wonder he's so strong." Turning to the wolf, he ordered him to show the guy how to do it correctly. Let him hammer a lot of common sense into him. As soon as he began to attack, Li Taishuan thought that a simple ant, their techniques would not work against absolute strength. Watch what is happening. The girl wondered, when did it become so strong? And what's going on there anyway? The wolf was once a mercenary. He fought in various hot spots such as the Middle East. He was born for war. The cruelty of wars does not bother him either. But the guy couldn't withstand even one blow from this guy. Who the hell is he? Li Taishuan asked. Did this venerable one show enough strength to scare him? Let him bow in awe of his superiority. What is his next step? Let the person not upset him now with his move. Bebo replied that it was good. He admits that the guy has some abilities to cope with him. But can he deal with so many people? They surrounded the guy from all sides. The guys decided to hurry up and leave. Let this idiot deal with them himself. The guys shouted, "What are they waiting for? Let them cut him into pieces for his sake." They started attacking the guy, but all he did was light a cigarette. Suddenly, with a powerful shock wave, they scattered in different directions. The guy asked forgiveness from simple ants. Let them accept their helplessness. Resistance is useless. Looking at everything from the outside, the guys asked what the hell he was doing. What was that blinding light? This can't be true, can it? Bebo thought that this was impossible. These people are the main special forces from the army. The thugs are trained soldiers. Even if the people are retired, one ex-special forces soldier can at least fight against 10 people. This group of people was his main strength, which allowed him to dominate the underground of the city. He didn't expect that some kid would be able to defeat everyone in the blink of an eye. Putting his foot on his shoulder, the guy asked if he had anyone else to show him. Time passes. This respected man demands compensation. The mortal must pay the bills. The loser must yield to the strong. They're in the presence of the king of the gods. This immortal does not care about man's code of conduct or his laws. Until he destroys his miserable existence, the guy decides what to do with him. Bebo asked the king of the gods. He's definitely crazy. He may have the power to suppress him. Let him call someone who can handle him. Is he really afraid? The guy replied that it seems that the little ant can still say something interesting. Let him amuse him then. This respected man will grant his wish. He decides to see what amazing character will arrive there to help his predicament. The guy said that maybe he didn't know, but the person he was calling was the biggest man in the city. You could say he practically owns it. He can't compete with this person, even if he is right. In their eyes, everyone is just a pawn. If he promised to worship him, call him his big brother, and apologize to his people for what happened now, he might just write it off. He will take care of him in the future and ensure that the guy has a better life. Li Taishuan said that he seemed to have misunderstood something. He's already lost. He has no say in the matter. Does the guy want him to call him brother? His stupidity knows no bounds. Such impudence this time is outrageous. When Miss Chu came in, Babo said that finally the girl is there. Pointing his finger at the guy, he said that this was that strange, crazy guy. He was the one who dared to mess with their guys. Approaching the guy and bowing, the girl asked for forgiveness for being late. Everyone around didn't understand what was happening. Why did she call him master? The guy told his student to listen carefully. Today, he is going to tell the entity. This mortal introduced himself to a student from his school, even dared to offer a drink to an underage student. Let him tell him, "Is this illegal?" Miss Chu replied that even his dog is more worthy of being his big brother compared to him. She does not intend to continue this conversation anymore. She finds it disgusting. So he even dares to insult her master? Bowing to the girl, he asked for mercy. The guy didn't know that he was her close friend. Let him allow him to make amends. He began to ask for forgiveness. He didn't understand how this crazy guy became the girl's master. Turning to the master, the girl said that she was sorry that he had to see this. These dogs are part of the family forces. She knows they hurt him, but they can still be useful. The master can use them at his discretion. He may also be an idiot. But the master can keep this one for himself. This is not a problem at all. Just let them use it as they wish. He thought he could use a couple of idiots to do his bidding. His disciple has a habit of slapping those stupid ants as punishment. Eventually, he would have to start focusing on regaining his strength through cultivation. Chu Shuilian told everyone to remember this. From today, they are all under his command. From this day on, let her masters listen, and now they can be free. Qi Shuang stood and thought about why Mrs. Chu was so respectful towards this guy. Wasn't he just a pawn, a toy for her to play with? Was the girl too hasty in their relationship? Yang Xiaokong thanked Miss Chu for her help today. If not for her, this guy would probably cause them a lot of trouble. He began to say that today their board of directors would announce a new main candidate there. If Miss Chu is free, she can join them to witness the appointment of the next director of Eastern Star Academy. The girl asked, doesn't he know who the new director is? Don't they know who the school's largest shareholder is? Director Mu approached them and said that, naturally, their new candidate for director is Yang Xiaokong. Without a doubt, there is no other candidate. As for the school's main shareholder, they are extremely mysterious. Most of the general management was carried out by the guy's father. The man added that he hoped the girl didn't need to be reminded to stay away from this guy. He's just a warehouse supervisor at their school. Even if he fights well, the most he can do is become a physical education teacher. She doesn't need to respect even such a person. Li Taishuan said that it seems the director has forgotten what it means to be an educator after rotting for the past 20 years. Let him say, has his IQ gotten worse lately? By refusing to help a student in need, he does not deserve to bear the honorary title of teacher. The man asked, what does the guy mean by this? Li replied that they no longer needed his services. Let him get out while this venerable man still has the politeness to be polite. Director Mu replied to the guy that he was just an intern from this school. What right did he have to fire him? The guy is fooling himself if he thinks he can get rid of him. It looks like he wanted to be fired on his first day of work. Without answering, Li Taishuan slapped the man. The guy said it was quite satisfactory. And what was he going to do about it? Qi Shuang asked, what is the guy doing? This is a criminal act. He can't just beat someone up. Let him stop it right now. Xu Xiaoying added that this is just lawlessness. Let someone call the police. Yang Xiaokong asked, do they really think that everything can be solved through pure violence? He will regret it later. At that moment, the girl's grandfather entered the room. Seeing Director Yang, the man immediately began to say that he must avenge him. That brute used excessive force to hit him. He asked to be sent to prison and sentenced to several years in prison for intentionally causing harm. The man asked Mr. Ma to calm down and let him introduce him to someone. This is Mr. Chu Tianzhong, the largest shareholder of their school. Chu Tian walked up to Meister Li and said that he was very sorry, but he had urgent matters. There was a serious delay on his part. He hoped that this minor setback would not be a nuisance to his arrival there. The guy replied that it was nothing. She greeted everyone and the man introduced himself. He said that he is the current owner of the Eastern Star Aristocratic School, and now he will announce that the next director of the school there will be Li Taishuan. All the guys immediately began to wonder why this guy would become the school principal. Did they get the name wrong? Young Shao Kong asked his father if this was all true. He said that the main position would be his. The man replied to tell the guy to stop now. The Chu family is not the family they can offend now. Chu Tian added that not only that, their family decided to buy back all the shares of the school and donate them to Mr. Li. From now on, this school will be his property. Qi Shuang realized that not only Miss Chu, even the director treated him with respect. Was he always this good? Why didn't she see this? Is the girl really wrong? Now he even owns the entire school. What should she do now? The man asked Mr. Li if there was anything else he wanted to add. The guy said that he appoints Qiao Fei as one of his advisors. From that day on, he is his deputy and the new director of the school. Rotten people like Mr. Ma need to be eradicated. My brother asked if his words about becoming the new director were really not a joke. Let someone pinch him, he thinks he is sleeping. Li Taishuan told him that he was now his deputy, which means there would be no discrimination, and they would run this school together. Gives him his word of honor. Justice will prevail. The guy answered his brother that jokes aside, let him be sure that he will give his best and will not let him down. Yang Xiaokong said that they are idiots. Just let them listen to what they are talking about. What nonsense! Why does the father agree to this? This guy just laughs at them, humiliated him, and took away the position that should have been his. The man told his son not to worry. He contacted the Nei family. One of the members of this family was killed by Chu Tian 5 years ago, and since then both sides have been in conflict. This family repeatedly sent assassins, but all attempts failed. This time, they invited an expert. As long as he is not killed, they cannot afford to offend the Chu family. The guy answered his father that it's good. When this happens, he will force this bastard to kneel in front of him, and then he will kill him. Chu Shuelian approached the guy and said that there will be an auction tomorrow evening. Will he go? Maybe he'll find some treasure there. The master replied that he was forced to refuse the offer. He wondered if the treasures here could compete with those in the world of immortals. She said that at the last auction, someone bid on a rare magical item. Is he really not interested at all? He wondered if there really was such a thing on this planet. It looks like he needs to reconsider his views on her. The girl told the master that this villa is located near the school. They chose her to make him comfortable. She is also the best among everyone in the area. The city is usually quiet and calm. She thought he would like this place. He thanked the girl and said that he was very pleased. It was a truly beautiful villa. The girl replied that everything was for him. Then she would no longer bother him and wished him all the best. Li Taishuan replied that no, she will stay with him tonight. They have something to say to each other. Chu Shuelian wondered if she really heard it. Does the master really want her to stay with him? Entering the house, he ordered her to sit down. The master said that he would now collect from 100 miles and they would cultivate together. She thought about it. It turns out that the master wanted to practice with her, but she thought of something. Li Taishuan told the girl that she should learn a special male technique. Although she is young, she is already qualified enough to start studying it. Today he will teach her the highest technique of Ki cultivation. The guy thought about it. Enough time had passed since his awakening, but he still hadn't started cultivating. This whole series of events took him time, but now no one will bother him. He is obliged to regain his power and status from his past life as soon as possible, and then cross the galaxy, the multidimensional realm, and find Shuexi and take revenge on his enemies. Watching what was happening, the girl thought, this incredible technique can transform into such a powerful aura. Her body absorbs qi, and she feels it in every cell of her body. What a blissful feeling. The master ordered her to concentrate. He won't tolerate her careless attitude. Show this technique only once. Let him remember this moment once and for all. Li thought that although Chu Shuelian was not as good as those goddesses or titanic princesses from the world of immortals, but for an ordinary person, she was able to understand his technique. Truly a talented person on this earth. He was quite impressed. The girl was able to understand the intricacies of this technique on the first try. This aura, it is preparing for a breakthrough. The Supreme Immortal Cultivation realm is divided into several levels: Dantian, Core Formation, Soul Formation, Return to Void, Fusion Realm, Transcendence, and Tribulation. In his past life, he reached the level of Transcendental Tribulations and was given the title of Great Immortal. There is not enough Kai on Earth to break through to such a level. The only way to regain power is to cross the galaxy, although this may take months or even years. Opening her eyes, the girl asked if she really did it. Did she really break through? Chu Shuelian began to thank the master for giving her such an opportunity to begin the path of self-improvement and personally teaching her. The master replied that her talent was bad for me. At the moment she is at the stage of purification, and now she will be able to correct the mistakes of the past. The girl learned inferior techniques and, like a cultivator, lost her way. In the future, let him train hard. She has been cultivating since she was 10 years old, but could not break through to the level of father's purification. But now she has met a master. He is quite a mysterious person. She would like to get to know him better. The wisdom and strength of her master has no limits. No wonder her grandfather believed in him. She is glad that she met such a master. Handing her a piece of paper, he asked her to prepare everything from this list. Li Taishuan couldn't wait any longer. He needs to quickly build spiritual gathering information to gather every sea within it, in order to double this energy thousands or even tens of thousands of times more. It is these items from the list that will help him. Using the formation, he would be able to break through to the Taixian stage. The student replied that she would give orders for the collection of these items. They walked towards each other. Passing the guy, Qi Shuang told him to stop. Li Taishuan asked why the harlot kept bothering him. The girl asked why he always says that. What does he mean? Why can't she bother him at all? He asked her to speak faster, preferably briefly and clearly. The girl is wasting his precious time. Calling him a fool, the girl asked him not to confuse her. They hadn't broken up yet. Why didn't he want to discuss this with her? She said that the other day he came to her parents and made a scandal with Yang Xiaokong. Why did he need this? Her mother was very angry with him. But if he gives the girl's family a school, he will become a suitable groom for her. He asked the harlot, did she fall into insanity so early? School as a gift, human greed knows no bounds, pathetic mortals. This stupid girl is influenced by her mother. The same thing happened in his previous life, such a disgusting mother and daughter couple, so that he wouldn't dare act so arrogantly in front of her. This may be his school, but he doesn't even deserve it. It was just given to him as a gift. Was he really begging Miss Chu to help him? And what did the guy do for this? Was he wagging his tail in front of her like an obedient dog? When Li gets tired of Miss Chu, she will take everything back and he will be left with nothing. And anyway, how could he have changed that much? His origin alone is a shame. She's sure the guy even changed his manner of speech to please her. And for some reason the lady calls him Master. Are they sick? What kind of role-playing games? Li Taishuan told the girl to remember, she is one harlot and will always remain one. He's so tired of her. All the best, he's leaving. Qi Shuang began to shout after him that if he continued to behave like this, he would regret it one day. When she decided to meet him, she thought the guy would listen to her every word and run after her like a dog. But why did he become like this? She decided that she would not let him leave just like that. She just won't let him go. She will always be her little dog. Suddenly, the guy's phone rang. It was his aunt. She asked if he had time to come for dinner today. The woman will cook delicious dishes for him. Let him come and try it. She added that, in fact, she would like to discuss his recent inheritance of the school. If only he had given the school to her daughter. Having interrupted her, the guy replied that he would not give her and her daughter a penny. Let them disappear from his life. Mother of the harlot, a demonic spawn who must one day be purged from this world. He decided that one day he would wipe them off the face of the earth. Xu Xiaoying advised the girl not to pay attention to this loser. So what if he's a school principal? This didn't make his pathetic pedigree any better. He will never become one of them, as he will not be able to keep his wealth for a long time. The girl replied that, however, now he is the director and can change the rules and regulations as he wants. The friend replied that she was overthinking herself. Yang Xiaokong will deal with him. Elites like them have their own ways of dealing with such insects. Let him remember that in their school there are only elite teachers and students. A brat like him wouldn't dare to offend other families. Parents and students won't want him as the new principal. Elite students will kick such a director out of school and he will become a useless, homeless mongrel. Qi Shuang said that Miss Chu could cause a scandal. The friend replied that it would not suit her. If he loses control, it will be entirely his fault. Then he will be kicked out. Miss Chu can only look around and regret her decision. Approaching the physical education teacher, the guy began to ask, did he recently receive a promotion like the director? Is he really a school deputy now? What don't we say if a man can't even cope with the third class? He can't even be a physical education teacher, but how can he get to the position of deputy director? The guy replied that he was still a student and should respect his teachers. Let him return to his training. Yang Zi replied that since it was practice now, he could play with him. If he can win, the guy will recognize his status, but if he loses... The teacher repeated it again that the practice time was already over. Let him quickly return to class, and he may not even count on playing since he is still his teacher and the guy is a student. The boy said that he should confess. Was he just scared? It would be a terrible shame for a student to lose. When he left, he said that he didn't care. They still don't have the right to teach them. Neither of the two of them belongs to this elite school. He will get them fired. Li Taishuan approached them and said that he heard their dissatisfaction. What did his deputy fail to do? What did they think a worthy teacher should look like? A vulgar student, he simply wastes his time and wastes his time. The guy asked, so is he their new director? And anyway, what's with his manner of speech? Yang Zi replied that no matter who he was in life, could he prove that he was a worthy director? Will you be able to defeat him? The director asked, so the kid wants to fight him, the emperor of the gods. He said that playing with insects from time to time is not so bad. Okay, let him entertain him, but not disgrace the whole school. He wants to see a brilliant show. The guy replied that he would not do it for him. Don't dare look down on him. He's just a lucky guy who received school as a gift. He has no rights there, so they'll see if he can beat him. Li Taishuan replied that the little insect has big words. He accepts his challenge, but the guy is not generous enough to fight someone without a stake. If he loses, what will he get? Yang Zi said that he will not lose, and stop saying that it's fucking creepy. He has nothing to offer the director, but if he wins, the guy promises to obey and carry out all his orders in the future. This is a small price, but if the guy wins, he will throw the director out of the school. Let the director think twice. The guy is a famous sports maniac. He is a scholarship student in their athletic department and is currently the school's leading record holder. Also won a big prize for several competitions for the school. Li Taishuan replied that his servant should trust his master and let him go to the arena, his young gladiator. They will spar to their heart's content. Zhu said that that guy's plan seems to be working. That stupid Li fell into his trap. They decided to watch this idiot get kicked out of his own school. She kept saying that guy was such a moron. He challenged the little superstar Yang Zi, who is the best in the sport, and this upstart decided to compete with him. The girl said that last year, the record for javelin throwing among students was 76 m. The guy was able to throw up to 74. In competitions among high schools in the province, He always emerged as a champion in any sport. The directors are simply driven to death. Qi Shuang thought that this guy was too arrogant. Once he loses to him, will he show his true colors? He will definitely be ashamed to even appear in public. First in line was Yang Zi. The guy threw the javelin at a distance of 75.4 m. The guys immediately began to discuss that the guy had broken his own record. His score is close to the national college record. It's probably better for the director to just give up. The brother told the guy that everything is simple. He must accelerate and gain inertia and momentum in order to throw a spear. He believes in him. Let him show his real shot. Li Taishuan replied that if this venerable one made even one jerk, it would be tantamount to bullying a child. He will not crush the dreams of a young, budding gladiator, a guy to show him his place. The guys immediately began to discuss his words, saying that he was so arrogant and arrogant. They believed that he would lose anyway. Let him do what he wanted. He just pretends to be confident, but in reality he is scared to death. Yang Zi said that they know that the director will lose, so why pretend that he has already won? So lame. Who is he trying to fool? After the throw, the guys couldn't believe their eyes. The director threw the javelin 105 m. I wonder how the javelin flew so far. Was he really cheating? The guy asked, he knows that the world record is only 98 m. This is impossible. The guys asked, did the director really win? They didn't believe it. Qi Shuang wondered how this could happen. Why are things not going the way they used to? This guy ruins all her plans every time. The director asked, what was the matter? Did the young gladiator and the others swallow their tongues? They now look like dead fish. Heads up, the game is just beginning. Yang Zi said that this is impossible. Perhaps the spear is too light. He suggested trying another sport. This time the guy wouldn't let him cheat. The director replied that the mood was excellent. The universe will not approve of cowardice in the games of immortals. The guy thought that he would completely subordinate the world of sports to himself. He must reach his full potential to defeat the stupid director. The guys clapped and told him it was an incredible throw. The world record is almost 23 m. Yang Zi threw up to 21 m. He can become a record holder in the future. The girl said that this distance is really intimidating. The guy cheated before, but now he won't be able to cheat them. He said that now it was the director's turn. Li Taishuan asked to bring him the heaviest ball, and quickly. He's already running out of patience. The guy said that the director was acting arrogant again. Just let them bring him the heaviest ones. They want to watch the director disgrace himself. They saw how easily the guy lifted the ball. The throwing turned out to be so strong that the ball reached the fence and slightly damaged it. Yang Zi thought it was impossible. Who is he? He began to ask, is there anyone in this world who can make such a powerful throw? The director is definitely not a person. Turning to the guy, he said that there is no shine in this show. The director is very disappointed in him. He replied that this is not all. One round. A duel between two fighters, his taekwondo against the director. If he wins, the guy will recognize him. Yang Zi told the director that he was sure that in a real sparring he would not be able to defeat him. After all, it is his favorite sport. The guy added that he will not hold back. He hopes the director will not regret it. Li Taishuan replied that he had no idea about true strength. Martial arts is a sport. These are terrifying fighting techniques to kill such enemies. Does he know that someone's life could be in his hands? He decided to show him the real power of martial arts. His skills are no match for the director. We'll see his true strength. This is exactly what is called martial art. Yang Zi can't dodge his attack. He's too fast. His body didn't react at all, as if he was numb. The guy didn't understand at all what just happened. What an incredible blow. It looks like a power push. They liked the way the director fought. Li Taishuan asked the guy if he was ready to obey him. He is kind and sweet to his subjects. Yang Zi replied that, of course, a bet is a bet. He won, and the guy will keep his word. Young Z said that he would return to his class and study hard, and would never cause problems for the principal. He solemnly swears to this. The director replied that he approved. This is exactly what a good student should do. Perhaps his efforts will be justified in the future. Now the guy is under the protection of this venerable one. Turning around, the guy told the director to be careful with that young Shao Kong. He and Su Ming Hao ordered him to deal with him. Those two are very insidious and have bent the whole school under them. It would be a shame if he lost to them after defeating him. The principal asked student Zai to tell Su Ming Hao to come to school tomorrow. If the guy doesn't show up for class tomorrow, the consequences will be sad. See if he deserves his mercy. The guy answered the director that it was better for him not to contact him. He is the boss of their school. A man cannot insult him, especially now, since he has just become a director. That guy's status in this school is special. His family has ancient origins. Li Taishuan replied that the guy should listen carefully. He already said there can only be one ruler. These pieces of fatty meat are not worthy of grunting there. Let him convey his words to that pig and believe in him. He will crush absolutely everyone there who dares to go against them. Qi Shuang told her friend that it looked like they would never be able to deal with that idiot. Just let him look at him. She doesn't know what's happening, but she feels like the gap between them and this upstart is growing. They can only look up to him. Xu Xiaoying replied that all these stupid people are just trash. She didn't understand why Yang Xiaokong ordered this brat to deal with him. Boba asked to carefully place the boxes on the ground. Turning to Mr. Li and Miss Chu, he said that they entrusted him with the search for materials, and the guy traveled around the whole city after finding them. Hope he didn't disappoint them, but he didn't find the dragon root. It's nowhere to be found. The girl replied that if he was not in the city, then he should have sent requests to other cities and provinces. Li Taishuan asked not to blame him. Dragon root is a rare spiritual tree that has bloomed for 1,000 years. It is called Wunjinmu in their culture. Its roots are stored underground for hundreds of years. It will be difficult for them to find him, so the Venerable One will solve this problem himself. The girl replied that it was true. She had never heard of dragon root, but the name seemed familiar to her. When suddenly she asked the master if he remembered what she told him about the auction. If she remembered correctly, this spiritual tree would be displayed on it. Li Taishuan thought that it looked like he really needed to go there to see these earthly treasures in person. Perhaps something big will happen. In his past life, he was an ordinary person, not an immortal. Now the earth seems to him a more interesting place. Boba told the guy that the girl returned to her family in a hurry. She couldn't accompany him today, so she asked him to apologize on her behalf. In addition, she transferred $100 million to his account. Tonight, he will be able to bid on all the lots he likes. The guy asked him for a favor, saying that if Miss Chu encounters any species, she should definitely tell him. She is his student. He is also under his protection. As he walked inside, he thought that the Chu family was very powerful. They run this city. What problems might they face? He decided that after the end of the auction he should leave immediately. He was only interested in one thing: would magical tools or weapons appear at this auction? Hope he won't be disappointed. Looking ahead, he saw the same guy there whom he had thrown off the cliff. Next to him was Qi Shuang, accompanied by Yang Xiaokong. He asked if Master Songzong had actually met the guy who broke his leg that day. He clearly didn't know who the man was. The master replied that every time he remembers, rage overwhelms him. If he meets that guy again, he's finished. He will throw him into the river to be eaten by fish. Seeing him, the girl immediately informed her boyfriend about it. Turning around, Sun Tsung immediately recognized him as that bastard. He started shouting that he had searched the whole city. It turns out that the guy had been hiding there all this time. Yang Xiaokong thought that this master was the most influential person in the city. He didn't expect that stupid poor man to go against the heir of the Su family. Now the end has definitely come for him. The master asked, so is he Li Taishuan, the same bastard who hurt him? Let him tell him how he wants to die. The guy asked, does that mean he is the rapist? Shouldn't he be dead? He doesn't want to ask the guy to kill him again. This time he will definitely send him into the darkness. Young Shao Kong asked the guy not to make a scene there. Today, elite and important guests have gathered at this auction. Auction organizer, mysterious family. When that poor fool gets out of there, they'll be able to catch up with him. The guy replied that this makes sense. Once he was outside, he would order his men to break his legs. Young Shao Kong has no place there for a bastard like him. All the elite are gathered in this high-end auction house. He thinks the guy better get out of there. Li Taishuan asked, do the mistakes of the past teach a pig nothing? Did he decide to create problems for the guy again? It is also obvious that this venerable man was invited there. Looking from the outside, the girl thought that he was just a wooden blockhead, without connections and communication skills in the highest elite circle. Looking at him, I understood that rest would be one of them. Even if this simpleton is supported by Miss Chu, it does not change the fact that he is from the poor. Young Shao Kong asked then, could he even invite him there? This is not a nightclub where all strays and dogs are welcome. Not everyone can go there. Qi Shuang asked if the guy didn't understand. He was invited by Miss Chu, who doesn't understand men at all. Maybe she has a fetish for poor men, and the taste of poverty turns her on. Song Zong asked the manager how could he let this tramp in there. Let him throw him out of there immediately. Young Shao Kong asked what would happen if this tramp touched one of their famous guests and infected them with ugliness. Who will take full responsibility? As soon as he was surrounded, the guy thought it was interesting. The manager asked if he knew what this place was. Let him stop causing problems and get the hell out of there. The guy thought that the Ouyang family was really mysterious. They clearly needed strength if they could afford to hire articles of the kingdom. They have remarkable talent, but his student is definitely superior to them. This venerable one is pleased with the safety of this place. Li Taishuan said he wanted to praise them for their excellent security measures. Is the man the manager here? He has an invitation to this auction. If you don't believe it, then let him check the list of participants. The manager replied that he would not check anything. The foreman said that it was a fake. Let the idiot hurry up. How did his parents even raise him? Does he think trash like him can calmly go there by invitation? Having hit the manager in the face, the guy said that he had no right to insult other people's parents, and especially not him. He is now talking to the immortal emperor. The pathetic ant called himself a manager. Let him repent, or he will send him to the depths of hell. The man asked the guys why they just stand and watch. Let them grab him quickly and teach this guy a lesson in politeness. Watching from the side, the guys asked if he was going to die. The guy is unlucky. These warriors of the Ouyang family will not let him live. Qi Shuang asked, does he really think that he is allowed to do whatever he wants? This is an auction house. Obviously, there are different rules and standards. As soon as the warrior surrounded the guy, Miss Ouyang immediately appeared. The manager immediately began to complain to the girl that this hooligan dared to create a commotion among those present. He slapped him, and the man wanted to teach him a lesson. Let him look. His whole face is swollen. He told Miss that he would order this uninvited guest to be thrown out of there. Having hit the man, the girl asked, how dare he? What kind of manager is he if they treat their guests like this? Approaching Mr. Li, the girl said that, unfortunately, since the day he saved her, she could not contact him. She didn't expect to see him there. It's very cool. Song Zong shouted to the girl that she came from a side branch of the family. How dare she go against the Song family? The girl replied that today she would conduct the auction on behalf of her family. She is the one responsible for the auction house, and her status is no longer what it was before. The girl has all the powers of the family, so she can kick him out. Better watch her manners. He asked if the little girl from a side branch of the family was trying to act like a big shot. You will belong only to him. Let him frolic and have fun as much as he wants, but she already belongs to him. Young-pei asked, Mr. Should she fire this ignorant man, or does he have his own plans for him? The guy just went to the man and broke his leg. That the entrance to the auction is there. She takes him inside. She promised that she would not allow these arrogant vultures to get in his way. The girl thought that she did not expect to see him again. Being next to him makes her feel safe and comfortable. She wished she could hold on to this feeling longer. Looking at them, Qi Shuang thought, how many women did the guy talk to behind her back? First Miss Chu, now Miss Young-pei, how he infuriates her. She didn't understand what these stupid women saw in him. What was wrong with him? Young Xiao Kong didn't bring up why all the beautiful women are helping him. These two girls are even much more beautiful than Qi Shuang. Suddenly, one of the guys shouted for them to stop. Young Xiao Kong told the guys to take a look. Senior Chu has arrived. They will see how good he will be now next to that girl. Chu Xuefan is like Chu Xuelia from the third generation of the Chu family. However, at the age of 18 he was drafted into the army, where he became the youngest captain of his unit. It is said that he was enlisted in Voldemort's reserve force. This elite unit included the best of China's million soldiers. Miss Chu's brother is going to talk to that guy. Among the younger generation besides Lei Yuntian, there are virtually no others capable of competing with these two. They are considered the most prominent because of their power and reputation. But since the guy is from a powerful family, his reputation overshadows the rest. The heir of the Chu family has been courting Young-pei for a long time. 6 months ago, one rich man from the second generation tried to hit on her, but he was beaten half to death and was sent to the hospital. The guy was bedridden for several months. How unlucky is this guy now? He can blame his fortune for angering this monster. Dare to lay eyes on his girlfriend, only hell awaits him for sure. The girl told Xu Feng that this man is her most important guest. What is he trying to do? The guy replied that she was his woman. He will not leave alone anyone who encroaches on his property. She asked, what is this guy talking about? She will never be a woman. The guy will wake up that soon. She will belong only to him. So let this guy get away from the girl. He doesn't care who he is or where he came from. The guy is from the Chu family and this city is under his control. He warns to get out of his city or break his back. One of the guys said that he was so arrogant that he even broke the manager's leg, and now he also went against the soldier. This is all karma for his cruelty. The girl added that, although Young-pei supports this guy, no one dares to go against the Chu family. Now no one will save this guy. Young Xiao Kong thought that even if Miss Chu went against her brother, it would not save the guy. Would she really betray her brother for him? Even if so, the guy still won't stop. Young-pei asked him to stop complicating things. This man is her benefactor, so don't dare threaten him. The girl thought that, although this guy fights well, Xu Feng is a soldier of China's elite special forces. How can an ordinary person defeat a military man? The girl asked Li Taishuan for forgiveness and asked him to go to the auction room. Let him not pay attention to this madman. Li Taishuan asked the guy from the Chu family, how dare he talk to the venerable in such a tone? Dare to insult this noble man? The guy asked if he even knew who he was talking to now. Li Taishuan replied that he should ask him. A person like him has no right to talk to this venerable one. Just as he was about to hit the guy, Chu Xuelian entered the hall. The girl asked, what is her brother doing? How dare he insult her master? Let him hurry up and apologize to him now. Xiao Fan asked why his cousin was there. The girl replied that if she had not come, he would have continued to behave this way. Turning to the master, the girl said that her family had some problems, so she was a little late. She said that this is her cousin. He always behaves arrogantly, so the girl hopes that the master will forgive and let him go. Li Taishuan replied that it was good, but for his sake this venerable man would not touch the guy. He hopes this won't happen again in the future, but if he runs into him, then don't let his fists that have no eyes blame him. The guy asked why he was so arrogant. What makes him think that he needs his forgiveness? Insert in front of them, the girl slapped her brother in the face. She began to tell him to immediately apologize to her master. Even his grandfather must show respect when meeting him, and the guy is no exception. After several slaps, he finally apologized. As Li Taishuan passed by, he called him a cursed brat. He said that he would let him go just for the sake of his sister and to stay away from Ouyang Pei. Otherwise, he would overtake him. The student thanked the master for only scolding her brother. As soon as the guy was about to leave, the girl asked him to wait a little longer. Approaching one of the girls, she asked, "Is her name Qi Shuang?" As soon as she bowed her head and answered yes, a slap immediately flew in her direction. Chu Shuilian said that she could insult her, but not the master. Does the girl think she doesn't know what nonsense she's talking about behind her back? People like her can only rely on others. Does she still have the conscience to ask him for school as a wedding gift? She doesn't even deserve to be his bride. Young Xiao Kong immediately began to tell Miss Chu that Qi Shuang was his girlfriend. Let him please forgive her for his sake. She asked who he was so that the girl would forgive her for his sake. Now he will leave this place with her. Turning to Sister Ouyang, the girl asked for forgiveness for driving out her guests. She replied that she should not apologize. Whether they are there or not, this does not affect the auction in any way. Moreover, it became calmer there. The man asked for a moment of attention. This was regarding the first lot. The auction house cannot confirm its authenticity. He also doesn't know whether the item is real or not. Li Taishuan realized that this was the aura of phoenix power. The man named the starting price at 1 million. The guy realized that this copper pot has the spiritual power of a phoenix. It will be good for activating his divine chaos stone. People started asking what kind of jokes. They don't know whether he's real or not, but they still dare to expose him? They've definitely gone crazy for the money, and they don't even need him for nothing. A guy approached young Master Song saying that he came there for this copper pot. If he just wins the bet, the guy will kill Li Taishuan. The stakes increased every time. The guys wondered why young Master Song also made a bet. Just let them not say that this is a real treasure? Li Taishuan thought, he dares to raise the price? Then they will see what he can do against this venerable one. In the end, when the price for the pot rose to 70 million, young Master Song could not do anything. He told the guy not to worry. Li Taishuan is my competitor. He guarantees that as soon as he kills him, the guy will have the copper pot in his hands. Ouyang Pei asked the guy, she doesn't understand. Is this thing really worth that much money? Chu Shuilian told her sister not to worry. The master knows what he is doing. In addition, if the master runs out of money, she will pay for it. The girl replied that since she was in charge of the auction, she could pay, so there was no need to spend money. Chu Shuilian said that it is normal for a student to want to give a gift to her master. Li Taishuan replied that it was fine. He would accept their kindness, but he still had enough money. The man said that the next lot is a dark golden branch. Another name is the fallen golden tree. Legend has it that it takes 1,000 years to grow and hundreds of years to develop its color. It can drive out evil, bestow blessings, and increase life expectancy. Its starting price is 6 million. People immediately began to say that this was simply a divine object. The man asked what era he was from. Are there people who still believe in this? Another replied that this is an auction of the Ouyang family. They won't lie. Li Taishuan said that he would give 100 million for this lot. The guys asked, did they just hear it, or did he really offer that amount? Does a man not know what to do with his money? Song Zong shouted that he was ready to give 200 million. The guy thought that he would be cursed and force him to bid higher. As it turned out, Li Taishuan fell silent. This lot went to the guy. Chu Shuilian asked the teacher, isn't his goal to destroy the golden tree? Why did he let that guy buy it? If he didn't have enough money, she could pay for it. He told the girl not to worry. This is all part of his plan. The guy only thought that he should hurry home and activate the divine chaos stone. The girl should stop chasing him. The guy can return home himself. Entering his villa, Li Taishuan said that he himself planned to find him. But I didn't think that the guy would come there with his dogs. Songzong replied that she had been waiting for him for half a day, and he finally deigned to return home. Because of him, the guy spent 200 million on this wooden stick. Does he understand the essence of the problem? Let him give him these 200 million and the copper cauldron. Sun Tzu promises that his death will be quick. If he refused, he would realize that a quick death was the best option. Li Taishuan said that he also wanted to tell the guy something. Since he has come, then let his soul be expelled from this world. Sun Tzu shouted that it was he who was threatening him, and not the other way around. Why the hell is this self-confidence? One of the guys asked, is he Li Taishuan? Does the guy remember the killer who attacked Chu Tianzhong? He replied that this lord is not obliged to remember the names of all garbage. The guy started shouting that he was his younger brother, but died because of their dirty tricks. But now, he will take his life for the repose of his brother's soul. Li Taishuan asked, did such a weak practitioner dare to threaten him? The guy thought it was impossible. He was an expert of external force. How could he block his blows so easily? Unless he's a great master. Although no, he is too young for this cannot happen. After which he began to attack him again. The guy asked if he still wanted to fight him. Using a little physical force, the guy immediately fell to his knees. He began to pray that the venerable master would take pity on him. They say that it was his fault. Li Taishuan replied that, of course not. He insulted this venerable man and is still begging for mercy? Naive insect. Sun Tzu shouted that it couldn't be. Let the guys shoot, kill him. Let them do what they want, but so that he doesn't survive. Li Taishuan said what a sad fate, but he gave him a chance. Having taken out pistols, the guy said that he might be strong, but he couldn't dodge bullets. Let him go to hell. Calling them insects, the guy immediately created a dome around himself through which even bullets could not pass. The powerful force of the dome hit the guys and they immediately flew away. Songzong asked him not to approach him. Taking out a pistol, he began to shoot without stopping, but the dome was impenetrable. Li Taishuan replied that an insect like him has no right to know this. Having deployed one of the bullets with his force, he directed it towards the guy. Taking the artifact in his hands, the guy said that now he has a fallen dragon tree. Finally, he can activate the Great Gathering formation. From this auction, he received a copper pot and a fallen dragon tree. Something definitely happened to the earth for its energy to become so low. The dragon tree will be used as the main core of the formation. The mansion will become the center of this formation, and from the school, he will be able to observe it. After this, he will expand the formation to the ridges of the city. In this case, a large amount of spiritual power will slowly gather there. The gem, although it is the treasure of this world, is of no use to it. Even so, there should be no problems with creating information. All that remains is for the core to merge with the sacred ground. If an ordinary person lives in this mansion, he can live up to 150 years. This is a heavenly fusion effect. Every cultivator sect should have one. Entering the villa, he snapped his finger and said that they dared to insult this venerable man, so let them get out of this world. It's time to activate the divine chaos stone. It is a kind of Tianxian stone, only at an early stage, but it can still be used effectively. In his previous life, he had this stone and helped him in his development. Inside the chaos stone is the power of Tianxian. It is thanks to it that he was able to develop the Slayer God Divine Body technique. He didn't know who sealed the phoenix's power into the copper pot, but because it had been there for a long time, it had become very weak. But this energy is enough to awaken the divine chaos stone. Having absorbed it, the chaos stone has now become stronger and is filled with energy. What's also amazing is that there is a divine technique hidden inside. Li Taishuan acquired the Phoenix Fire Eyes technique and also accidentally created a divine spirit child. This technique can only be mastered if the wearer has an immortal body and soul, after which it even evolves. He underestimated her. The guy thought, is it possible to find out what kind of powerful power the child of the spirit has? He saw that in addition to his spiritual energy, there was also a real phoenix soul there. If the guy succeeds, he will remain within his faction. The guy shouted that no matter who he was, he couldn't cope with his energy. Looking at the phoenix, he began to say that now he must help him collect chi from all places and redirect it there. When he reaches the peak of cultivation, he will take him with him to the world of immortals. Li Taishuan said that he would not restrict his freedom, but he should not dare to fly beyond the mountain range of the city. By combining the phoenix and the dragon tree, the guy obtained the information of the phoenix dragon. Now that it is completed, he hopes everything will work out for him. A vision appeared before his eyes that they needed to protect the head of the family. The guy immediately realized that the Chu family was in danger. At that moment, his student entered the door. The girl said that she was greeting her master. Getting up from the floor, he immediately said that they were leaving. Li Taishuan said that her family helped him a lot, and now that they are having problems, he cannot stand by. Looking at him, the girl thought that the master was so incredible. He even found out the purpose of her visit and immediately went to help. Chu Shuilian told the master on the way that the Nei and Chu family never got along. Since this year, they have been at odds even in business. One day, the Nei family attacked their important truck. Her younger brother killed the head of their family. After this, they constantly quarrel. They sent assassins many times, but all their attempts failed. A year later, they plucked up courage and returned to take revenge. She said that they have strong bodyguards, but even they cannot cope with him. It's impossible to shoot him. Li Taishuan thought about it. That yellow-faced guy said that the murderer was his younger brother, so he was also sent by the Nei family. Both brothers were unlucky. They were killed by him. The girl said that they had no one else to invite to protect their grandfather. She is afraid that he might actually die. Both sides agreed to meet and have a duel. Grandfather said that he could not defeat that expert and sent her to ask for his help. Li Taishuan thought that he was sure that there were not many people who could block bullets. This is a good chance to meet an earthly martial artist. The master answered the girl that there was no problem, he would meet him in person. She replied that, thanks to him, her family was safe. The girl asked the master to follow her. When he saw Li Taishuan, he said that this old man had been waiting for him for a long time. Please let it pass. They are counting on him. Afterwards, their family will generously reward the master. The old man said that the fight would take place at 11 p.m. in the Solar Phoenix Pavilion. Grandfather asked Chu Shuilian to stay with him, and when he finished preparing, they would go to the pavilion. When the girl's brother entered, he asked his cousin, did he hear that that brat came to their house? He began to say that these were the problems of the Chu family. Why did the girl ask him for help? They just need to invite his master and send him away. He looks like he wants to cheat and run away with everyone's money. The girl replied that her master was an important guest, so stop being rude. Didn't he understand last time? The guy thought that this time even his cousin wouldn't stop him. He must bring this scoundrel to light. The guy told Li Taishuan that he wanted to talk to him. If the guy loses to him, he will leave the city. Will he dare to accept his challenge? The master replied that he was giving him one last chance. He removes his hand and gets out of there. Having sent him, the guy replied that he was a useless piece, but was pretending to be strong. Hearing what her cousin said, the girl asked what he was looking for death. Let him apologize quickly. The guy answered his sister that no one will stop him today. Don't worry, their family will be fine with his master. Chu Shuifan shouted that today he will teach him a lesson. The guy asked, how dare he mock him and flirt with his woman? Having stopped the girl, the master replied that it was good. Today he will also teach him a lesson. The guy asked who, hey? He doesn't care about him. He's just an arrogant hillbilly. Before he could finish speaking, he immediately received a slap in the face. The girl's brother started screaming, why the hell did he suddenly hit him? After his words, he already gave a stronger blow. Chu Shuifan asked the guy why was he mocking him. Let him not relax, he will take the skin off him. Trying to strike again, the master also put out his fist. The guy's hand was not standing. The bone was broken into pieces. Chu Shuilian asked the teacher to go easy on him. Let him keep him alive for her grandfather's sake. His brother kept calling